Bants and Bants. Bants and Bants.
All systems go.
Bants and Bants.
Defiance.
Bants and Bants.
This rebel has a cause.
Bonds and Bants.
We begin as wanderers, and we are wanderers still.
Welcome, everyone, to the 69th live edition of Bombs and Bants and Wednesday Rants. As always, I'm your dedicated and humble host, John Wilder, coming to you from the 69th undisclosed location, hidden deep beneath the 69th surface of the earth. With me, as always, is Mark.
Hey.
And the missus.
You know, everything's sounding really loud to me tonight, but I'm thinking it's not loud. It's normal volume. This is just like the wellest I've been in a month or so. Mm-hmm. And so my hearing's back. Yeah, I can hear it, and I'm not dead.
Well, it is the 69th edition, so or probably
you're close. It's the 67th. You're close.
There's so many jokes. So many jokes.
Nice.
Mark, how's the week been? How's the year been?
The year, uneventful so far.
Uneventful so far. So what we're going to do tonight is we will talk about not the past, but the future. We're going to make our very best predictions for 2023, but we intersperse those with the rest of the news stories, which will make it harder for the missus to find them next year when she goes through and tries to determine.
It just means I'll have to listen to the whole podcast.
And you get to hear me again and again.
I know. I never get enough of that.
Yeah, that's right. So we did have a kind of funny story. I thought it was a funny story. So the missus has two little dogs. They're dogs the size of which my friend Jim calls stomping dogs, as in if they went rabid, you could step on them and they would no longer be any sort of a threat. So the smallest of the two,
the barking bratwurst.
The barking bratwurst will eat anything. While we were getting ready for dinner for Christmas, Pugsley was peeling potatoes, and so what did the bratwurst do? The bratwurst started eating the potato peels that fell on the floor. He has also eaten
celery, raw onion,
mushroom, you name it,
lima beans. Yeah, things that no right-thinking dog should probably eat, and would probably eat.
So anyway, at some point during the weekend, starting on Friday night, he swelled up to the size, like twice the size of his normal self.
Well, you missed the key part of this, and this is that a poor hapless possum wandered into our backyard and was brutally set upon and murdered, didn't just pass out, actually killed by one of our animals. And I think it was the other dog because he's a terrier, and that's kind of what he does. Mm-hmm. So there was a dead possum in our backyard.
So option A is he ate
the entire possum. I'm pretty sure he ate a whole possum.
So for 2 days, he just sat and looked like he was dying on various things where we pick him up. I mean,
and his tummy was all pooched out, and he wouldn't eat and he wouldn't drink. I spent the entire night, Saturday night, giving him water with an eyedropper because I didn't want him to die of dehydration.
And of course,
worried, of course, because it's a holiday weekend, right? So no vet is open until Tuesday, and we don't live in a place where emergency vet exists. Mm-hmm. Actually, funny story with that.
Well, no,
you finish telling yours.
This is the story. Yeah. So anyway, rather than go with the missus flash sideways, what happened is slowly the dog deflated, and now it's normal. It's back to its normal self. And so my theory is, number one, it either ate a possum, or number two, it got into baking powder and started eating baking powder and just inflated its stomach all weekend long.
I don't think that's happened because he ate an entire bag of cake mix about 3 weeks ago, and he was fine.
Yeah. Okay. On with your story.
Well, and here's the vet story. No, but here's the vet story. So I did finally find an emergency vet number on the website of one of our local vets. Hang on, I got a cough. Okay, not the guy that our dogs normally go to, the other guy, because there are only two.
Mhm.
So I called this, and I explained what's wrong with the dog, and this was on Sunday. Someone actually answered, and so I said, okay, and they said, well, can you bring him in before 1 o'clock? And I've been sick too, and it's the week between Christmas and New Year, so who the hell knows even what day it is? So I'm like, yeah, sure, not realizing that here it's almost 2 o'clock. So it didn't occur to me, this is not very local. So they gave me their address, and I said, no, what town are you in? And they said, Henderson, Nevada. Yeah, and clearly I'm not going to be able to make that appointment. But thank you very much for trying and for being
if we had a UFO like other people in Nevada, that would be no problem at all.
Exactly.
Heck, we can make an appointment yesterday.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's our long and convoluted story, Mark.
Yeah.
So, that being said, Mark, what is your prediction on who will be the leader of the Ukraine at the end of 2023?
Biden.
Well, that's now.
Hunter or Joe? Hunter or Joe?
The missus, your vote?
Well, again, I'll agree with Mike.
Mike?
Mike.
How about Mark?
Yeah, whatever his name is. I'll agree with Mark. Sorry.
I've only been doing this for 2 years now. That's very professional. You know who I think it'll be?
Don't make me laugh. It makes me cough. No problem
I think it'll
there,
be
right? No problem.
Crazy Z.
You think so? I think it'll be Hunter Biden.
But that was an intro.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Hello, this is Crazy Z talking to you from basement of Science Building. Here I have a huge Ukrainian...
Missile system.
Okay, go.
Hello, this is Crazy Z. I have a special treat for you. Turns out, Biden gives me money. I give it to Bankman Fraud. Bankman Fraud, he give it back to Biden. What is that we call? Democracy in action.
There we go. Our first visit from the leader of the free world, Zelensky. Is that your computer that made that noise?
No, it had to have been
was.
you because I didn't hear a noise.
Oh, and Tadano Hito predicts Elon Musk will purchase Ukraine for $78 billion. I don't believe so because we're already into it for more than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but have you ever seen how fast the government tries to offload surplus after a war, and they sell it for cheap?
Come on down to Crazy Zelensky's. Let me tell you.
You know,
we have T-62s for 32.
Come on, man.
You might even be able to pick it up for 78 million.
All right, so we have our first prediction for 2023. Here is the next news item. We have a case of Spicus interruptus. This is the first time since the year 1066 and the Norman Conquest that we haven't had a speaker on the first ballot. I made all that up, but who cares? I mean, it's like meaningless statistics.
It's been like over 100 years.
Yes, and the Norman Conquest in 1066. Because so he's losing currently by 21 votes all the time. My take is people on the right are tired of rhinos. And speaking of rhinos, Dan Crenshaw, or as we call him, the amazing one-eyed wonder weasel, is calling people who don't want what's his name as speaker as ists. And this particular ist rhymes with a mirror, like a mirrorist. So he's calling his own party people that. So, the missus?
Yes.
Dan Crenshaw. Could he do better with 2 eye patches? Do you think that would be a better look?
And I don't want to besmirch Crenshaw because he was the guy who walked the walk. He went over there and nearly lost sight in both of his eyes in a war fighting on our behalf. So I'm not gonna make fun of the guy for that. But his politics. It seemed like he was going to be a good guy, but he's just wrong. Just wrong. And
so Mark, who will end up being Speaker of the House?
Oh gosh, I have no idea because I can't even think of the name of the guy that's supposed to get it.
McCarthy,
What's his? I was going
Kevin
to say
McCarthy.
McCarthy.
Matt Weasel. No, Kevin McCarthy.
He'll probably end up with it. There'll be some wheeling and dealing in the back, and some promises made, and committee assignments made, and so forth, and he'll eventually get it.
But the
The
thing
Mrs. Full
is I suspect that
hang
that's
on.
true. But I think that they'll wheel and deal with the Democrats because I don't know that the Republicans who are against them. I mean, come on, they've dealt with enough Democrats to know they'll happily pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today, right? So if you make a deal for something in the future, that's never going to happen.
So let me ask you this, Mrs.
Yes.
Um, what will his theme song be as Speaker of the House?
Hmm. Boy, that I would like to have given some thought to. You should have asked me that before we started this.
Okay.
Before we got
can
into
sing it
this
for you.
whole thing.
I can even sing it for you. That's when I met him, the Speaker of the House.
See, I was
Uh,
thinking
s-
more along the lines of your rhythmics. Would you lie to me?
and his motto will be
Or Rollins Band, liar.
and his motto will be with a picture of George Floyd in the crest. I can't lead. So okay. I will note that McCarthy is a member of the World Economic Forum, as is Crenshaw, which further cements their rhino status.
But I do look forward to him calling the House into session by clapping his ass cheeks.
The clap
Okay.
of my ass
So
cheeks keeps alerting the guards.
okay. So Mark, Russia is threatening stuff again, just like they did last year. They're threatening to, I don't know, demolish Ukraine brick by brick or some silly nonsense. At the end of the year, who will be the leader of Russia? It's prediction number two.
Um, I think Putin's going to have a tough fight, but I think he'll hang on.
Okay. The missus.
I don't know. I think there's a good chance of him croaking before the end of the year. One way or another, you know what I'm saying?
Well, you got to say who's going to replace him.
Silence! I kill you! I don't know. It's
Hoffman.
not like I'm well schooled in Russian politicians.
Well, this is actually an easy answer. President Vladimir Putin will not, at the end of the year, he's going to retire. I think he's going to retire to a dacha and hang out in the Urals. But in replacing him, this will be a big surprise to everyone.
William
It'll be
Shatner's
Tony Shalhoub.
hairpiece.
No, Tony Shalhoub.
I think William Shatner's hairpiece has a better chance.
Tony Shalhoub. Bluff-Domi. He already speaks Russian.
Bluff-Domi.
Bluff-Domi.
Well, I'll tell you who's maneuvering right now for power is the head of the Wagner Group.
Mhm.
Trying to set him. He's been making deals with some of the, I don't know what they call them. They're not states, but anyway, the equivalent.
Oblasts.
Yeah, in Russia, and so he might be a potential replacement.
He is. He will take over Oblast and give it much borscht in its Heineken. Okay. Next we have Damar. I believe I'm pronouncing it right. Hamelin is, as of this speaking, still alive. This is the Buffalo's.
Yet still in critical condition, though.
Yep, who did a routine tackle and then just plopped. So interestingly enough, there are no pictures of him at all. There are no pictures of him with his family. There's no pictures of him on life support. So my question is, what did he know about Hillary Clinton?
That's the question, right?
Okay. There is no prediction wrapped up into this one. Well, we could do a Super Bowl prediction, but no, let's not do that. But the reality, and this is something I found very interesting. The hospital where he is at is surrounded by federal agencies who are prepared to take control in the event that there's disquiet associated with them. Mark,
Why would that happen?
Mark, why wouldn't they do that if I had a tonsillectomy?
Because a tonsillectomy doesn't. Uh, your tonsillectomy is not going to verify what millions of conspiracy theorists believe to be true.
And the missus, how many boosters did he have?
Well, see, if you were in there getting a tonsillectomy, notice how I just sidestepped what you said, is that they would post someone at the door holding a tumbler of water,
Mm-hmm.
and that person would be there in case of fire. And you say, but that tumbler of water is not enough to put a fire out. And they say, oh no, this isn't water, it's gasoline.
Yeah, I did steal that line from Chair Brad on how many boosters did he have. But let's go a little further on this one. Interestingly enough, Charlie Kirk, who is, again, probably as inoffensive as McCarthy, went through and said something about the status of perhaps having an immune reaction from Damar Hamlin. And so someone called him an awful garbage person. And I thought, why would it be an awful garbage person to have a speculation about something that impacts the human health of literally dozens of people who got vaccinated?
Well, I did hear today, and I don't know if this is true or not because I saw it in a comment section, is that boosted this guy on December 26th.
There you go.
Again, I don't know if that's true. I have no verifiable confirmation of that. It might just be BS. But I have noticed that all the people talking about, the thing where you get hit in the chest and it hits your heart in just the right rhythm and makes your heart stop beating. And it has happened. And the people who will say this say it happens all the time with Little League players. And I'm like, why would that only happen with kids who are playing Little League?
And it typically only happens to kids who are under the age of 20 and happens like 6 times a year or something like that. So, and I've seen the hit. I mean, the hit was not big by NFL standards by any measure.
I know, but the other thing I hear about this, right, is that you have to coach kids in Little League that when it's an inside pitch and it's coming at them, if you can't get out of the way of it, that they instinctively want to turn their chest toward it. And I'm like, what maniac is that a defense mechanism for?
Why not put your eye and face in front of it?
Exactly. Yes. Well, because I played softball when I was a little kid, and it's not like any coach ever said to me, now, if the ball's coming at you, turn your back to it. I just did that instinctively. You know why? Because I didn't want to get hit in the face. Because I was a girl, and we didn't have to wear batting helmets.
Jump up and make sure the ball hits you in the buttocks.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wait, if I can do all those things, why can't I just catch the ball? Oh, okay.
With your teeth. Yeah, but that was my question about that. And secondly, if this happens all the time, why don't we hear about it? And why doesn't it ever happen more often in the NFL? It wasn't a particularly brutal or even unusual tackle that the guy made. And he caught him from behind. So the guy it wasn't even a force where they were running at each other. I don't know.
So, Mark, what will happen with playoffs? This is not a prediction for 2023, but what will happen with the playoffs? Because they're supposed to happen, literally this weekend. So, are they going to ever play the game, or they flip a coin, or will be a knife fight between John Elway and Peyton Manning?
Well, the latter would be the more interesting one, but my guess is that when it comes down to it, unless they're willing to extend the schedules, which I doubt, it's probably going to come down to a coin toss.
What could be better? A coin toss.
I think they should have sack races to be held on consecutive weekends until a clear winner is determined.
On alternate weekends, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Either that or just cancel the whole season and give them all trophies.
So there were 2 idiots who tried to take down a power grid somewhere near you, Mark.
It was in Washington, I think.
Tacoma's not near me.
It was in Washington.
It's a lot.
Well, it's closer to you than to us, yeah.
Okay. I don't know.
I mean, you can't throw a football and hit it.
I'm sure it's at least 800 miles away, but all right.
Well, okay, it'd be 2 days driving to get to see you, buddy. Um, so that's near you.
Okay, yeah, because
So,
it's only 1 day drive up to there. All right, that's
so,
fine.
so, so
All
anyway,
that aside, let's go.
so these two genius level IQ folks, they had a plan to take down the power grid by hitting multiple substations, and they were going to do that to do a robbery. Now, here's their IQ check. When you go and try and take down a power substation, do you take your cell phones with you?
You dumbass.
They did. Yeah. Literally took their cell phones with them in this mastermind scheme. I mean, you know. Mark, do you have more flavor for us since you are next door neighbor?
You know, the only
He
thing,
can practically
the only
see
thing
it.
I can add, the only thing I can add is remember when that power outage was first reported, though, that what we were hearing from the mainstream media was that this not only was related to that outage back in North Carolina, but that it was some master plan by far right extremists.
Oh, the lefty tools still believe that. I mean, they think they're just lying, and the evidence will come out, and it will show it was right-wing extremists and white supremacists. All of the
Well,
above.
I mean, my
Yeah.
point is that every one of these instances going forward are going to be just a knee jerk. It was a right wing extremists, and it's just going to come out of their mouth like, I don't know, like a parrot saying the same word when for whatever situation.
Because it's just so easy for them to believe, right? I mean, that's why you still hear Russia, Russia, Russia. Despite the fact that all you have to say is, well, but Mueller didn't find anything. Oh, he did. It's all over the Mueller report. Oh my God, they're guilty of traitor and collusion with the Russians. Okay, so then why didn't the then controlled Democrats do anything about it if it was so clear and apparent? And of course, the answer to that is always...
Let's hear more from Crazy Zelensky. Time to hear more from Crazy Zelensky.
Hello, this is Crazy Z. Are you wondering where your tax refund went? Are you wondering why beef costs $25 million a kilo? It is because it is being shipped to me. Why? Because I asked for it. Why did I ask for it? Because I could. Because I am Crazy Z. That one not as funny.
That wasn't as funny. Well, you left that part in.
Yeah, I did.
That was my least favorite of the takes that we did today. So now we know what your next door neighbors are up to, Mark. But this is also just in. We did find out that the lawsuit winnings against Alex Jones, those will all be donated to fund the Ukraine war. So since he's lost $1 trillion or something at this point, whatever. This is Alex Jones coming to you, telling you that you need to buy my new Master Iodine. How's my Alex Jones? Is that a good?
Yeah, Alex Jones is pretty good. I was just thinking, why have you never done a bit here doing your Alex Jones voice?
Well, this is time to get it to InfoWars.
I think so.
Yeah.
Your Alex Jones impression will probably get us banned off of YouTube this week.
Well, speaking of getting,
you have someone on YouTube who's not supposed to be on there. Pulled it.
So I'm going to.
It's almost like we had Jordan Peterson come on here and say something.
I'm going to set this next bit that the missus did. Oh, wait. Live from the InfoWars bankruptcy auction in Austin, Texas, it's Alex Jones. That's from Tadano Hito. So setting up this next bit, I had this little epiphany last night while I was having a cigar in the hot tub. Yes, that's what I was doing. And I said, this would be a great bit to do. And I came in very enthusiastic, told the missus, and she did a great bit, but it wasn't quite what I was looking for. But missus, shoot that bit.
Well, I forgot what you wanted. I forgot what you wanted to call it,
Well,
and I
that's
really
okay.
wasn't 100% paying attention because I thought we were going to talk about it, or that
'Cause I
you
was
were going to
talking.
write it. No, I thought you were going to write it and send it to
Okay.
me. And then I realized at about 4 o'clock this afternoon, oh, I think I'm supposed to do that. All right, so here we go.
Hi, I'm Texas Governor Greg Abbott.
And I'm Florida Governor Ron DeSantis.
Several weeks ago, we rustled the jimmies of the left side of the American political aisle by sending a couple hundred new guests of our countries to places like Martha's Vineyard and New York City. You know, places where liberals who champion illegal immigration live.
Needless to say, they didn't like it. In fact, they acted as though it was enough to destroy their city budgets.
Of course, it didn't bother them that border towns see many multiples of those numbers every day.
But those of us who live in border states have discovered a new way to deal with illegal guests, and we learned it from our president, Joe Biden.
It's called the Democratica Federales Protection Program, and it allows government agencies to ship immigrants to any city run by Republicans on moment's notice. Best of all, it will go completely unmentioned and unnoticed by the national media. It's like it doesn't even exist.
How does it work? Easy. Do you see the letter R that appears after our names? The Democratica Federales Protection Program changes that letter to a D, and presto. It's like it never even happened.
Democratica Federales Protection Program. When you have an uncomfortable problem, it's your best solution.
So clearly, I missed the entire gist of where you were going with that.
Yeah, but
I
because
didn't even get the fact that that it was a delivery thing until I put it together when you told me that I needed to make the logo for it, which is on the screen now. Do you like the logo?
Federales Express.
For an
Because you don't
uncomfortable
need those
problem,
stinking
your
batches.
best solution. That's right. Right.
You don't need those stinking batches.
I was tired yesterday, so.
Yes, Federales Express, and the entire concept, it's like Federal Express, but Federales Express.
Except they deliver illegal immigrants.
Yes, and Tara Brayton notes this is exactly. He says even the Colorado Democratic governor has sent illegals to New York City and other sanctuary cities. Not joking. That's 100% where I got that idea for Federales Express, when they absolutely, positively have to go somewhere else. Governor Polis that's a good tagline, isn't it? Of Colorado has had enough of illegals. Just kidding. He can't get enough. And he's shipping it elsewhere, like Waterloo, Iowa, for everyone else to deal with. That's really the case. Tara Brayton and I, 100% on the same page. So, Mark, why don't you have 17 illegal aliens living in your house with you? Since you're right next to those people who bombed the substations. Mark's just not talking to us anymore.
No. I'm trying to think of an answer that one wouldn't get you guys banned. Because it's my house, damn it, I'm not sharing it with other people.
Well, this made me think that I've heard and probably will never watch the new Avatar movie, but I've heard that the problem is all these people from Earth keep wanting to go live on the Na'vi homeworld, and guess what? The Na'vi just don't want them there, and
because
they're so
they come in and
intolerant.
completely change their way of life. For one thing, we're also very short.
Yes,
aren't the Na'vi like 9 feet tall or something like that?
But I mean, the lefties are like that all the time. I mean, it was evil for the Europeans to come to America to settle, and to basically, even though they were, literally for the Pilgrims, they literally were refugees. It was evil for white people to go to Africa for freedom and to settle and so forth. In fact, you can point to any place in the world that the Europeans have gone to try to settle, and the lefty's going to call it genocide or some bullcrap like that. But for people of color to come from other parts of the world to the United States to settle, that's good.
Well, and
the same thing applies for the Na'vi homeworld in the fictional sense, because they're the equivalent of the Earth people, the Terrans, whatever they call them there, are are sitting him in place of the evil Europeans.
Well, and what they really are, though, let's be frank, is they're Smurfs that got gym memberships, right? Am I wrong here?
But apparently,
And
there's a human in there somewhere that also lives on their planet. And you ask an interesting question about that, which is because you can't breathe the atmosphere, a human can't. So apparently, this kid has to wear a mask all the time. And not like the mask like on an airplane where you can take it down and eat. How do you eat and drink? Right? And also, speaking of...
cinema magic.
I guess. Shh. Just ignore that. Right? And also, talk about never ever being able to get a date. How are you ever going to be able to get a date if you only come up to the girl's knee? Poor kid. What are they thinking?
Okay, there's some answers right there that we're just going to skip over. All right, and speaking of which, Switzerland had a vote.
Well, so that girl is going to want to know how big his missile system is.
Well, Switzerland had a vote, and to whether or not to embrace the full panoply of LGBTQ plus, and they rejected it. Switzerland showed an amazing.
I will never apologize for standing up for an LGBTQ2 plus.
Please stop using gendered language.
Please do not use gendered language to address everyone.
The interesting thing, though, would be to see how much the Muslim vote influenced the outcome.
Switzerland is not as much because in Switzerland.
Oh, Switzerland. I'm sorry. For some reason, I had Sweden in my brain. Okay, Switzerland. Okay. Well, they've rejected some other woke stuff, though, in the past. So
in order to become a citizen in Switzerland, you have to be voted on by your neighbors. So if they think you're a tool, you will not ever be a citizen.
I'm a tool.
Again,
I'm a tool. I'm a tool, an unbelievably annoying tool.
Not getting Swiss citizenship, yes.
Well, and in fact, apparently there's this incredible tool of a woman. And, she got unanimously said, you're not going to be a Swiss. And they're your neighbors who vote on you. So it's not like these are strangers. It's like, should John Wilder become a citizen?
Nope.
No, we're not having him here. And this happened to this woman. She just went absolutely crazy. And but still not a citizen. I think that's a heck of a good plan.
It's probably nothing to worry about.
I thought it was massive cannibalism.
Yeah, we can do that too.
Massive cannibalism.
There we go.
It's nothing to worry about.
Come on, man.
So, Mark, the 2023 has been the year of the Musk. Or sorry, 2022 has been the year of the Musk. Will 2023 be the year of the Elon?
Yes and no. I mean, the SpaceX is still going to be, I think, breaking some new ground in 2023. I think the Twitter deal is probably going to fall off the radar in a short while. As far as the
See, I don't know that I agree with that because, again, leftists are like little terrier dogs. Stupid little terrier dogs. Like the one that lives in our house. And once they get their teeth on something, they are
We don't have
loath.
leftists in our house.
We do have a
leftists.
stupid little terrier dog that lives in our house. And once he gets his teeth on something, he is loath to let go of that until you hold his nose shut until he gives the ball back. I can't throw the ball if you don't give me the ball, right? Leftists are kind of like that.
No give, only throw.
Yes, no give, only throw. They won't give up on that.
But you can distract them with other stuff because it's not a terrier, but I have a stupid dog as well. And sometimes you just distract them enough, they'll drop the ball because they want something else. If they can get something else to latch onto that they think is juicier, they'll do it. And I think that's what I'm saying. I think will happen with the Twitter. I mean, something else inevitably is going to come along,
But
and
then
it's just
that
going to
goes away,
die
or they
down.
or they lose it, or it rolls onto the couch, or you put the laser point away and they're back right on that first one. Well, this I have.
So who's the laser pointer? So Mark, Elon Musk. Is this the year of the Elon?
We got pretty far down that rabbit hole when it came to metaphors, didn't we?
Mm-hmm. Gotta need a yes or no, buddy.
No, I think everybody will move on to other stuff. But like I said, SpaceX and Elon, as far as SpaceX and stuff, I think
Okay,
still gonna be making news.
So that's wrong. The missus.
See, again, because the leftists are like that too. Something pops up, they're on that for a while, then we're always back to Russia.
Oh, you're so close. You said something pops up, and here is the actual prediction for 2023 for Elon Musk. Number one, he will buy make a company that makes stimulants for male, and and yes, and here's what's happening. There will be a big scandal because of the shoddy science that went into it, and it'll be known as Elongate.
Oh my.
I had to work stupidly long for that joke.
You did. You were waiting for that one. That's patience.
That is patience.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
So Mark, what is the one thing that, looking back at the end of 2023, do you think that'll surprise most people?
That it turned out to be worse than 2022.
Oh, you think so? Well, give your description.
Well,
I'm not going to let that one go.
Marcus is just a little ray of sunshine, isn't he?
It's dark. It's dark.
Well, I mean, it's going to be. I mean, things are just going downhill. So, it's not like there's I mean, it's not like we're gonna hit a bump and everybody's gonna think, oh, we're in the air, so everything must be better type of situation. We've got COVID, they're banging the COVID drum. China's, just like when COVID first broke out, is trying to panic the whole world. How far they get with it, I don't know. But, this whole, they are starting remasking and all this crap. Maybe this time they'll just figure out some way for a bunch of people to all die, and then they can go, oh, we told you so, and you should have locked down like we told you, and so forth. I don't know. It's just going to be a total shit show, I think. And
you have never cussed.
Oh my God!
69,
he cussed. He swore.
69 episodes.
Oh
67.
69.
7.
Okay, the missus.
I'm sorry. I had something to say, but I am just stunned, speechless because Mark dropped an S bomb. I don't know what to say.
It was a term of art.
It was.
It was. Yeah.
We know Mark is serious. The missus. What do you think the people looking back at the end of 2023 will be surprised about?
The
Beatles.
I know what I was. Yeah, the Beatles reunion. Why not the dead coming back to life at this point?
No, that's not how they'll reunite. Let's be clear.
Oh, you're thinking the opposite of that.
Yes.
Yeah. How many are still alive? It's just Paul and Ringo, right?
Yes, but again, as soon as Paul takes up bacon, as soon as Paul eats bacon, he'll be going, what have I been doing the whole time, mates? I've been ignoring bacon.
And then he'll just dive into it.
Yes.
What the hell was I thinking?
He will eat Paul McCartney.
You'll eat Paul McCartney?
Ringo might.
Ringo might.
So do you have a prediction for the thing that will surprise people?
Yeah, I'm thinking about it. No, that's surprising. Again, what could possibly happen that would surprise humans at this point?
I got
So
one.
I heard.
I have
heard.
one.
Well,
I have one.
no. So I heard someone talking today about this whole Southwest issue.
You're shirking the question. You're trying to sidestep.
Yeah, because I'm trying to make a funny, and you keep interrupting me. Rude SOB.
That's what
Oh, can I talk? Is that okay now?
I don't know. Can you?
Well, I was trying.
Carry on.
Shut up! Okay. No, what I was saying is I heard someone talking about the whole Southwest and all the plane cancellations and people getting stranded and stuff in airports, and how they would reschedule the flight, they'd change the gate and everyone picks up their stuff and schlebs on to the next gate, then they change it back so everyone switches back. And the person who was witnessing this firsthand said the saddest thing about it is that nobody was mad. Nobody got angry about this. People were just resigned to their fate, just to slouch and shamble towards the next gate, then pick up all your crap and shamble back because they changed it again. Then pick up all your crap and go back to the hotel because your flight's canceled until tomorrow. And people are just so beat down. I don't think anything is going to surprise people because, again, we're just like, well, I guess this is just something else I got to live with. More crap.
Okay, so what's your prediction that will surprise people?
Absolutely nothing. That's my point. Like,
I have
even
one.
the thing with the football player. Who was surprised about that? No one. Now we're just discussing, is football too violent? Because we're back to that because that's our talking point, right?
When do they play violins?
Now who's sidestepping the subject?
No, I've got mine. I have one. I'm ready to go.
Well, then go.
Do it. Do it.
Come on, talk. Why aren't you saying anything? Come on, get to it.
Okay.
Come on, say something. Let's go. What's your prediction?
We will end up with at least
I can see the future.
And perhaps 10% unemployment by the end of the year 2023. We're going to see massive unemployment on a scale not seen since the Depression. There's one for you. I don't think anybody's seeing that in their crystal balls, but I'm betting that's what's going to happen.
What do you think might drive that? I mean, we're still at a point right now where we can't fill jobs, right? Because people won't take them. So what's going to send us in a 20-point swing the other way?
Oh no! Did you not read where Biden claimed to have created millions of jobs, and the Bureau of Labor
said he overestimated that by 99%. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. What's going to happen is you are going to see the corporate layoffs are going to be massive, and they're going to be huge. You're going to see a concurrent drop in housing prices. But
again, what's going to drive that? I mean, I think the big place where we have a lot of job openings right now is in service, right? And those
you
still
think we're
being
going to see
filled.
a global depression?
Yes, and this is the year. It's all been set up. This is the year for it. I think you could see oil for 25 was too low. I think you see oil for $40 a barrel again, because no one's going to buy it.
So what you're saying is we need to keep our fat dog fattened up because we might have to eat him?
No. Actually,
you keep your neighbor fattened up in case you have to eat your neighbor.
Okay. Well, we have new neighbors and we don't even know their names, so that's probably okay.
Well, that's better. You never want.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So what happens in a situation like this? We're actually relatively well set up for a situation like this, because you are going to see, and you're seeing right now, used car prices are starting to crater. You are seeing the economy starting to crater. This is a big deal.
So I
This
think
is
that
actually
neighbor thing is gonna work out well because I don't think anybody in the neighborhood knows those people. So we can just draw straws as to who gets what. It's a big family, so. Didn't we have a bit about this just a few weeks ago?
That's not going to be the problem. The problem is going to be there's too much stuff, but nobody has any money to buy it.
I don't want to run the risk of being even slightly hungry.
Okay, so this goes way back. Who is that civil rights leader? What's his name? Al Sharpton. Al Sharpton was in jail, and I don't remember what he was in jail for one of his myriad sorts of protests. And so in jail, he declared that he was on a hunger strike. And in this hunger strike, he could only have soup and perhaps salads and perhaps snacks.
And smoothies from like Jamba Juice or something like that. And the only reason I know this is because last week I went back to our prediction show from last year and pulled sound clips from that. You talked about that on that show too.
I show him hungry.
Yeah, I show him hungry because we talked about
it's a hungry strike.
It's not a hunger strike.
We'll
it's a hungry strike.
Yep. Tadano, he just says no one is buying anything at all. Every store is doing massive sales right now because of lack of sales. The computing market is in free fall.
It's January too. I mean, it's first quarter.
But you are seeing a collapse. I am willing to bet, not next year, but by the end of February, we will see tens of millions of people laid off in this country.
By the end of
2
February?
months.
End of February?
By the end of February. Yes.
All right. Mark it.
Yeah. Let's mark it. Do we trust the Bureau of Labor Statistics? But I think it.
Well, I can't remember if it was the Pittsburgh or Philadelphia Fed, but one of those I saw just today or yesterday had indicated there was only like 22,000 jobs created instead of the millions that Biden had claimed.
There you
right, because he just pulled those numbers right out of his big fat ass.
I expect it from you. I don't expect it from Mark.
But apparently that one caught you by surprise too.
My term of art embraces all of your predictions for this coming year.
No, I think again that's I think
No, you're right. The car sales. I was just reading the other day that dealerships, in order to keep their sales up, are selling cars to people but they can't accept their trade-ins because the people owe more on the car than the trading value is, and so they're selling them other cars while they're still in debt. They're selling them new cars while they're still in debt for the car that they bought, 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, well, they're upside down on those cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're upside down on the cars, and they're, and they've got, so now they're going to have 2 car loans at the same time.
You and I are obviously reading the same website. I can't remember where that was from, but yes,
it's.
Is it Mark's website? It's Mark's website, isn't it?
It was not. It wasn't. It wasn't. It wasn't. Anyway, that's irrelevant. Yes, I believe you're correct. It's going to be interesting. Tadano, that's any other thoughts? Any other predictions for next year? Since we've probably spiked the sale of razor blades already. All right, give me a razor blades and a warm bathtub. I'm tired of all this. Oh wait,
all right, see,
I'm sorry.
I
can't say things like that. Otherwise, I will be arrested for doing medicine in Canada.
Right. Then you'll have to go to a re-education camp.
Well,
expect to see those popping up around Canada soon.
Oh, Canada. Oh, wait. Oh, Canada, don't. All right.
No, my prediction for next year is that Okay, so last year I predicted that I would never ever be fully prepared for a podcast, and spot on. My prediction for this year is that I will find ways to do less and less per podcast.
I think we're there, yes.
I'm working in that direction. I am.
There we have it. Well, on that note, I'd like to bring... You have to do the thing. On that note, I'd like to bring it into episode 69, the first of 3 or 4 episodes of episode 69, to an end. As always, from the basement of the Science Building, this is John Wilder.
You know, we still had 2 Crazy Z's that we didn't play.
Yeah, we got next week.
Okay.
All right. This is Mark. Bye.
And I'm the missus. We're just all running out the door. Y'all come back now.